Hey guys, I'm Layla. Welcome to Raid Lore Stories. Today's lore story is going to be for Guurda Bogbrew. If I recall, she's a login champ eventually, right? I mean, it's been so long since I've had her, and she's very interesting looking. So let's see where all this came from. The ogre known as Guurda Bogbrew began life as the daughter of the brewmistress of the gut-filler tribe, Guurda Twice Swill, whose duty it was to concoct the intoxicants popular among so many ogren tribes. It takes a great deal to get most ogren drunk, and brewmasters and mistresses have long been renowned for their ability to distill just about any organic matter into something alcoholic. Guurda followed in her mother's footsteps. These skills served Guurda well when the gut fillers were called upon to join an army of the Gallant Pack near the Sorrow Lakes. At first, Gorga and Guurda helped keep the troops in good spirits, but then an orc general took exception to one particularly rowdy episode between his warriors and the gut fillers, and the tribe were ordered to leave. Gorga demanded that she be paid for the supplies the army had already consumed, but was refused. Though furious, she could not see a way to pursue her claim any further. Her daughter, however, had a more direct means of retribution in mind. Young and headstrong, Guurda poisoned the drinks of the army's commanders that night, and many of them died after the gut fillers had already set off. She later admitted her actions to her mother. Although initially angry, Gorga came around. Guurda had tried to uphold the honor of the tribe and brewmistresses everywhere, and that was what mattered. However, a combined force of outraged orcs and lizardmen pursued the gut fillers and fell upon them in a ferocious assault. In the ensuing melee, Gorga and most of the tribe were killed, while the distraught Guurda fled into nearby marshes. Guurda wandered alone for a long time, inconsolable and desolate. She worked her way deep into the Sorrow Lakes, where she was reduced to consuming bog flora and fauna to survive. As she became increasingly knowledgeable about the nature of the swamps, she took up brewing again, albeit by making use of all manner of festering, turgid forms of moss and mud plant. Her unnatural diet, combined with increasingly strange brewing experiments, began to wreak changes upon the stout ogren woman. Guurda's flabby flesh, deprived of sunlight amid the marsh-like fog, became placid and waxen, while her innards turned truly toxic, prone to all manner of festering, gaseous releases. Stories about her spread through the Sorrow Lakes, especially among ogren. Eventually, one of Guurda's kin sought her out, one of the few gut fillers who survived the clash. He told her that her mother would surely be proud of the new ground she had broken in the art of the brew, but that it would do her no good to sit and rot in the murk and mire of the Sorrow Lakes. It was a big world beyond the marshes, and if Guurda was going to do the memory of Gorga and the other lost gut fillers proud, she should venture out into it and seek to rebuild the tribe and her family's legacy. Inspired and having already rediscovered her desire to master the art of brewing, Guurda agreed, wanting to spread her knowledge and reforge her tribe. The two ogrens set out with wider peltas, slowly attracting a following of other destitute or scattered ogren who saw in Guurda not just a brewmistress, but also a leader. After several years, she, now known among her new kin as Guurda Bogbrew, had established a caravan that traveled the continents providing alcohol and entertainment for the ogren tribes and anyone else willing to try Guurda's powerful concoctions. So potent are they that the bizarre mixture of near-deadly elixirs Guurda has consumed has miraculously extended her life. Though well over 2 centuries have passed since she first learned the way of the brew, she remains hale and hearty, her ogren's insides only hardened by the long decades of exposure to toxic substances. Some claim that Guurda continues what she started with the Gallant Pack generals, spreading her poisons across the land. But in her defense, the line between strong, gut-melting drink and actual poison is a slender one. The influence she holds over a large number of ogren is strong and growing, blurring the distinction between her role as brewmistress and that of a full tribal chieftain. If it is power Guurda seeks, she is well on her way to acquiring it. All that remains is to declare that the gut fillers have risen once more, and she is ready to claim their place as one of the great ogren tribes. Okay, so I do think this story kind of explains why she looks the way that she does now. Now we get it, right? Now we get about this plant that looks like on her back it's got poison. Now we get why she looks kind of hideous is probably the right word, right? Guys, drop me some comments down below what you think for the lore story for Guurda, and thanks so much for watching.